Welcome to Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, the #1 podcast and resource for Black entrepreneurs. I'm your host, Jay Jones, and Black Entrepreneur Blueprint was created specifically to educate and inspire Black entrepreneurs to launch, build, and grow successful, sustainable businesses. Join us as we help build an economic power base in the worldwide Black community by building and supporting Black-owned businesses. If you're currently an entrepreneur or want to be an entrepreneur, you're invited to join us each and every week here at Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. Welcome to the BEB family and get ready to elevate your entrepreneur IQ. Welcome to the Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, episode number 572. I'm your host, Jay Jones, and today we have another outstanding and informative show in store for you. Today's show topic is launch your product today with just a landing page and a camera. Launch your product today with just a landing page and a camera. Now, many entrepreneurs think they can't launch a new business, a new product or service until they have an amazing website, 50,000 social media followers, and the perfect conditions. But the truth is, all you need is the camera on your iPhone or whatever phone you have and a landing page, and you'll be able to test and see if you have a minimum viable product. So we're going to talk about that and go into deeper discussions about that later on in today's show. But before we get to today's show content, let me just share a few things with the Black Entrepreneur Blueprint family. First and foremost, I want to welcome all first-time listeners to Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. Welcome to the BEB family. Please stick around until the end of today's broadcast, and I'm going to share all my social media contact information and resource links, such as the link to my latest product called $7dollarcheatcode.com. Go to the number 7, DOLLAR, cheatcode.com, $7dollarcheatcode.com. If you're looking to build, grow, and scale your business, and you already have a list of prospects and or customers, this is a product that's going to help you take it to the next level. $7dollarcheatcode.com. That's the number 7, $7cheatcode.com. Also, guys, make sure you take advantage of the website. We have all types of free resources to help you elevate your entrepreneur IQ. So go to blackentrepreneurBlueprint.com, hit the Learn tab on the top, and you'll see a drop down, and we have all types of subject matter to help you move from point A to point B. Now, let's get ready for today's show content. All right, guys, let's get into it today. We're going to talk about how to launch your product today with just a landing page and a camera. And we're going to keep it simple, short, and sweet. So today I'm going to break down what a winning landing page looks like, and also the simple video framework that anybody can use, guys, to test the viability of a product or service or business. It's very simple and easy, and you can do it without wasting a lot of time and resources. So let's talk about number 1, the components that you need. And then we're going to talk about your landing page and then your video framework. So let's talk about the components you're going to need to do this. Number 1, you're going to need a landing page. And a landing page is just a simple one-page website. You're also going to need a captivating headline, a video or image on the landing page, and compelling verbiage with a call to action. So these are just the overall components: landing page, captivating headline, video or image on your landing page, and compelling verbiage with a call to action. Now, let's break down the landing page. Now, most of you who've been listening to the show know what a landing page is, but if you do not, you can Google it or you can search it, but it's just a simple one-page website designed to make people to respond to your call to action. So you can go to a website and it'll say, hey, sign up for a free membership, get a free report, watch this video. So the landing page is just the holder where all of your components are going to be in. Now, there's several or multiple landing page builders out there. You have lead pages, A lot of your funnel software like System.io, ClickFunnels, all of these other type of platforms can help you create landing pages. Now, the new landing page builder that I'm using is called Unbounce, Unbounce. Now, Unbounce is a little more expensive than a lot of these other guys for landing pages, but it gives you the ability to split test A and B, and it's very detailed when it comes to statistics and things of that nature. So if you're serious about, really being a marketer and selling your products, services, or whatever, look at Unbounce as a possible landing page partner. So that's the first thing. You need a landing page which is going to hold your content. And an example of that, I talked about it in the pre-up to the show, is $7cheatcode.com. So if you want to see what a landing page looks like with the video, and we're going to talk about that, go to $7cheatcode.com. That's the number 7, DOLLAR, cheatcode.com. Give you a perfect example of a landing page. The next component you're going to need is a captivating headline on that landing page. People need a reason to stick around or to take your call to action when they reach the landing page. We don't care about, we've been in business 65 years, 5,000 satisfied clients. We sell 1 million burgers a day. Nobody cares about that, right? All people want to know is, what problem are you going to help them solve and how you're going to do it? Okay, so your headline, for example, could be something like how women over 40 can boost their metabolism and lose weight. So who does that attract? Women over 40 who want to lose weight. That's your audience. Another headline could be, and these are just examples, you're going to have to put in whatever product or service or business you're working with. You just need to put in a headline that makes sense for you. Another one is how to generate more leads for your insurance business, work less, and make more money. Very captivating. How to generate more leads for your insurance business. Every business needs leads. Work less. Hey, that sounds good. And make more money on top of that. Man, let me find out what's going on over here. Another example is trouble paying your bills. This simple side hustle may help. So who's your target audience? If you're looking for somebody, if you're doing some type of side hustle or business venture, this is a great headline for a target audience. So somebody who's struggling to pay their bills, they got more month than money, right? And they've been looking around for, hey man, I need to make some extra cash. This would be a great captivating headline for them. So you just have to figure out what's a great headline. There has to be a problem, solution, and the result. What's the problem? Your product or service is the solution. And what's the result when they use your product or service? Okay, very simple. So the components, we talked about the landing page, captivating headline. I just went over that. Now you need a video or image on the landing page. So if you go to $7cheatcode.com, you'll see a video of me. It's probably about a 3 to 4 minute video explaining everything that, is on the page and the different offers. So you can go there and check out all the components of a winning landing page. Okay. So in this video or image, and I would recommend video. Now, I know some people don't like to be on the video. So there's all type of AI generated avatars that you can use, but you can use a short video or you can have an image. Now, you need to speak directly to your audience, and a video does work better. Now, once again, it could be a video of you, just like on my landing page that I gave the example of. It's me talking. I didn't do any high production video. I was actually sitting in my dining room and I did the video. Okay. People use a lot of what they call UGC now, user generated content. So you'll see a lot of ads of people sitting in their cars, walking down the street in their backyard or whatever, filming. And what it is people don't need these Cecil B. DeMille 10 Commandments type videos. All right. They just want some information. So a video or image on that landing page. Once again, you can also use something as simple as AI generated avatars. There are a lot of different platforms out there that you can create AI avatars. A lot of these ads that you see on Instagram and Facebook, a lot of them aren't real people. They're avatars. So don't sleep on that. Another thing you can do if you're doing something educational, you can literally be talking over a slideshow, a presentation. So it doesn't have to be anything slick, guys. So you want to have a video or image on the landing page. Now, if you decide to have an image, that image has to convey something. It has to convey emotion. So, for example, when I gave you the headline for women, how women over 40 can boost their metabolism and lose weight, you may have a before and after image. The image has to convey emotion. And it's harder to do that with just an image as opposed to being able to create a video. So in that video, it could be you talking and you could have images going by. Once again, you could have slideshows, or it could just be you. But you have the ability when you're speaking to emote emotions. And that's what we want to have. So here's some of the components. Landing page, we talked about captivating headline, video or image on the landing page. And now the fourth component is compelling verbiage with a specific call to action. So if you go look at my landing page, I have compelling verbiage in addition to my video with a specific call to action. All right. So you have to have a specific and clear call to action. Order now. Click the button below for more information. Download the PDF. Watch the video. Whatever that call to action is, it has to be clear and it has to be explicit so people understand. So the whole concept of driving people to your landing page is, guys, for them to create an action, right? They need to take an action, whatever that action is. And remember, when you're writing this compelling verbiage, it's about them. It's not about you. It's about what is this product or service going to do for them. And a simple way to think about it is, what are the top 3 benefits that is going to happen if they use your product and or service? Okay. We don't care about the features. People don't care about it. Oh, it's a dual overhead cam engine. It has this, that, and the other. We don't care about that. We care about what is it going to do for me? Is it going to help me lose weight? Is it going to help me get more clients? Is it going to help me do whatever I want to do? Whatever problem that is, you have to give them the results of using that product or service, and that shows them what it's going to look like once that problem is solved. And the only way to solve that problem, guys, is with your product or service. So in the example I gave with how women over 40 can boost their metabolism and lose weight, some of the benefits are feel better physically because you have less weight. Oh, more confidence, gain more confidence because you look better. All kind of things. These are the benefits of using that product or service. That's what people want. Go on dates, get promoted at work because you physically look better. Things of that nature. So that's what you have to focus on when I talk about compelling verbiage. What are the benefits to this customer if they use your product and or service? We don't care about all the garbage and the gobbledygook and the details. What is it going to do for them? And that's what you want to break it down to. And the simplest way to do it is just do bullet point lists of maybe 3 of the top benefits of using your product or service. All right. So today we're talking about launch your product today with just a landing page and a camera. So I just went over the components that you need: a landing page, captivating headline, video or image on the landing page, and a compelling verbiage with a call to action. Now, let's talk about specifically the video itself. Now, I told you guys you can use a video or an image, but most times a video is going to be more productive for you, and it's going to convert more people. And that's exactly what you want to do, is convert. Okay. So in your video framework, there's a specific framework for you in videos when you create a video. And there are 4 pieces of this framework. So pay attention, guys. Either write this down or you can go to the website, check out the latest episode, number 572, and all of this information will be in the show notes. So just go to blackentrepreneurblueprint.com. When you hit on the website, the last 3 episodes are usually right on the right-hand corner or in the top. So look for episode 572 and you'll have all of this content. So if you're not able to write it down, it's here for you. So here's the winning video framework. In your video, the first thing you're going to talk about, what problem does your product or service solve? What problem does your product or service solve? Out the gate, you want to tell people, this is the problem I solve. I help insurance agents generate more leads so they can work less and make more money. What's the problem they solve? Generating more leads. Okay. So if you're in the insurance business and you're not generating enough leads, you're not making money, you're working hard, but you're not working smart. Guess what? I'm going to be tuned into this. And whatever you're selling now, your call to action could be sending them to a one-on-one consultation with you, a free consultation. It could be sending them to a webinar. It could be providing them with a PDF or some type of educational information. That's all based on your sales funnel. Okay. But the first thing you do in your video, what problem does your product or service solve? And you can say something to this effect, just like I used in the headline. Hey, are you having trouble paying your bills? This simple side hustle may help. Ba-ba, ba-ba, ba-ba. What problem does your product or service have? And you want to touch on some of the pain points. So in that example just then, are you tired of being behind on your bills? Are you tired of being stressed out? Are you tired of, getting ready to get foreclosed on or get kicked out of your apartment all the time? Are you tired of not being able to take care of your children the way you want to take care of them because you got more month than money? And you have to hit into the emotional points and really bring it out and get into the mindset of your audience. Okay. So what problem does your product or service solve? That's the video framework number 1. That's the first thing in your framework. Number 2, who is it for? And I know that sounds simple, but you have to write down a picture of your avatar. So the example that I just gave, you're looking at somebody that's working hard, that's struggling, but can't make ends meet. What are some of the commonalities of that avatar? What are some of the hot buttons? Some of the things that really affect them? Not being able to do certain things for their children, not having enough food, not living in a neighborhood that is conducive, for longevity. So you have to really dig into and tap into the mindset of your audience. And that's how you trigger your audience. And many times the products or services or business that we're in is something that we have experience with. So you may be talking to a previous version of yourself. Okay. So who is it for? Truly identify who this product or service is for. All right. Video framework. The third part is, what's the offer? What is the offer? You want to make the offer almost idiot proof. You want to make the offer so good that they'll be mad at themselves for not taking it. Right. Now, you have to understand, what makes sense for your business, your product, or your service, but you want to give a compelling offer. Okay. What is the offer? Try this software for 14 days free. If you don't like it, cancel it. Give money back guarantees, things of that nature. What is the offer? What makes sense for your audience? You also have to make sure your pricing is aligned with your product or service. So if your pricing, product, and your perception aren't aligned, you're not going to sell. So if you're selling a solution for a big problem, guess what? Your pricing usually can be a little higher. So if you are a tax accountant and somebody has a $50,000 tax lien that you renegotiate and negotiate down, them paying you $2,000, $3,000, whatever, isn't a big deal, because you just saved them X amount of dollars. But if you're selling a product or service that's for $39, right? you got to make sure that that's aligned. You don't want to put a whole bunch into a $39 product versus somebody that's selling a $299 product. And I'm just talking about a digital product. So there's different price points and different ranges. So what is the offer? Make sure the price, the product, and the perception of the product or service are aligned. And I'll give you an example. So if somebody told you that they can sell you just say a BMW 760, and hey, I got a brand new 2025 BMW 760i that I can sell you for $35,000. The first thing you think is, what's wrong with this BMW? Because the cars go for about $85,000, $90,000. So the price and the product and the perception are not aligned. So people are going to be like, that doesn't make sense. Or if somebody told you, hey, I'm going to sell you this, I got this new 2025 Volkswagen Jetta for $35,000, zero mileage, blah, blah, blah. People are going to be like, okay, that makes more sense because the product, the price, and the perception of that product are all aligned. So you have to make sure that your offer is in alignment with what you're selling. And now, once again, we're talking about the framework of the video that is on your landing page. And there are 4 components. The first one we talked about, what problem does your product or service solve? So in the video, that's what you're going to start out with. The second part of that video framework is who it's for. The third part we just talked about, what's the offer? And the fourth part is, and last part, is the call to action. Once again, the call to action is paramount in converting prospects into paying customers. You have to be very specific with your call to action. Now, depending upon the type of sales funnel that you have, instead of trying to sell right there on the page, you may send somebody to a webinar for more information. So if you have a product or service that may be more in detail, like a consulting type service, or people need more information, you may want to send them a webinar, a case study, or something of that nature that gives them more education. If it's something like simple as a physical product that you're selling and that video can demonstrate that product, whatever, you might go directly to buy now, purchase here. So it all depends on what you're selling and how much education that you need to give the person before they make a buying decision. Now, I talked in a couple episodes ago about the reason most people don't sell is there's an education deficit. And that education deficit is the deficit between where somebody is at point A and you're trying to get them to point B, but they don't have quite enough education about the product, service, or whatever for them to make that leap to purchase. So make sure your call to action is in a flow where it makes sense. If you're trying to sell a $45,000, whatever it is, and you're telling them to buy here right on the landing page, you're probably not going to have high conversion. You're probably going to need to have a step or two in between, like watching a webinar, then going to a one-on-one free consulting call. So think about that and be cognizant of what your price point of your product or service is. The higher the product or service and the more money people have to spend for it, the more education they need. If you're selling hoodies and T-shirts and somebody sees something and you're selling tees for $30 and hoodies for $60, you don't need a lot of convincing. You like the product, it looks good, you got a video somebody wearing it or using the product or whatever. That's pretty simple. Buy here. How many you want? Do some promos. That's different. When you're buying something else that's a little more expensive, guys, you have to put more education behind it. Now, before we get to the last segment of the show real quick, let me just give you all my contact information and resource links. So I mentioned at the top of the show, if you want to see an example of a winning landing page, go to $7cheatcode.com. The number 7, DOLLAR, cheatcode.com. If you're looking to build and grow and scale your business, specifically for people who have built up a database of prospective customers and current customers. $7cheatcode.com. Also, guys, make sure you take advantage of the website. Go to blackentrepreneurblueprint.com, hit the Learn tab with the drop down. We have all types of free resources to help you move from point A to point B. And lastly, for all you first-time listeners or watchers, make sure you hit that subscribe button wherever you're watching or listening to this. We drop a new episode every Monday morning, 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on all your major podcast platforms and YouTube. So make sure you guys subscribe so you will not miss the next episode. All right, let's get ready for the last segment, guys, which is pretty much just a short wrap up. So today we talked about launch your product today with just a landing page and a camera. Don't make it harder than it is, guys. You want to have product viability to see if your product or service is viable before you even go out there and buy it or start it. So, for example, if you're looking to do, and this is one of the easiest things to do, if you're in the service business or coaching business, one of the easiest things to do is to create a landing page with actually for a webinar or free training. And if people come on to the training, guess what? You go ahead, perform the training, and then you try to market or sell whatever you're trying to sell on the back end, right? That's pretty simple. All you have is a landing page. You're driving traffic to that landing page, and you're getting people to sign up for your webinar or workshop. And this way, if people sign up, you know, hey, I can go ahead and prepare the workshop. You may not even prepare the workshop yet until people sign up. You may have a short or a little outline of what you want to talk about, but you haven't gone in depth. So that's a way to do it. So you set your webinar out maybe 10 days out, 2 weeks out. You start marketing, and maybe at a point where you get X amount of people where it makes sense, and you know not all of the people are going to show up. Then you go ahead and you start preparing the content for that webinar. If you're selling a physical product, you can say, hey, I'm about to drop this product. I want to know if people are going to be interested in it before I drop it. Here it is. It's a pre-launch price, blah, 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 whatever the price is. And if you get enough people to purchase it, then you go ahead and drop the product. If you don't, then you just refund the money. So these are ways, guys, that you can launch your product today, literally today, with just a landing page and a camera on your phone. You find out if people really want what you're trying to sell. Doesn't have to be super, glamorous or whatever. It has to, look decent, but it doesn't have to be the best. All right. You have to get it out there, and then you can always make iterations of the initial one. So you come out, you may not like the way your landing page looks aesthetically. So you make a couple of tweaks and changes. You may have to go and change your video or your image or whatever. But this is the way, guys, that big companies do before they go roll out multi-million and billion-dollar campaigns. They test first. I was listening to Kevin Hart and a lot of other comedians that what they'll do, they'll go out into clubs, unannounced, small clubs. You may be at a comedy club, and one day Kevin Hart walks in, and he'll walk in and he'll do some of his new stuff. And what he's trying to figure out is this stuff going to work or not? So he tests it out unannounced on small audiences, and over a period of 10, 20, 30 different nights, he'll be able to piece together a good act because he's testing it out. He's not rolling it out on a world tour without testing it out first. And that's what we have to do. I always talk about, guys, being a mad scientist, learning to think like a scientist, put things out there, test, see what happens, test again. Come back. And then once you get that secret formula, that's when you start to unload your resources on it and start to multiply and scale. And that's what it's all about, guys. So today, I hope you enjoyed launching your product today with just a landing page and a camera. So all of those ideas that we have as entrepreneurs with our entrepreneur ADD, you can test them to see if people even want your product or service or the ideas that you have, without going out there and thinking that everything has to be perfect, because it's never going to be perfect. All right. Now, I say this each and every week, family. We get more and more downloads because of you, the Black Entrepreneur Blueprint family. I appreciate you guys so much. Please continue to spread the word about the podcast, the blog, the resources, the website. Make sure you go to the website, the online courses, the books, the whole ecosystem designed specifically to help you elevate your entrepreneur IQ. Remember, it's not about me. It's not about you. It's about us. It's about building an economic power base in the worldwide Black community by building and supporting Black-owned businesses. Love you guys. See you same time next week. Peace.